Well, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Hope that you can all hear me okay. It is a Monday. It is the 11th. Le Bosh. Monday the 11th, everybody. How are we all doing on the Apex Brotherhood Boardroom Broadcast? And as you can see, this side, we have got a snazzy new logo. We got a brand new branding. So guys, if you want to get into the Discord, make sure you go ahead down to the QR code here. There you go. Get yourself into the Discord. Link is also in the description below. How are we all doing, guys? It is 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. It's good to see some of you coming in already, which is pretty cool. If you haven't already, make sure you smash a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching it live, come say hello to us this morning. If you are watching it and it's pre-recorded or it's already happened, we've already finished the live stream, the broadcast, then do drop a nice comment down below. Make sure you like the video and make sure you do stick around. Guys, I need a haircut. Bad. Like bad, it's too heavy up on top. Anyway, I can't decide what I want. I may just shave my hair off. I can't decide what I want to do with it, and it's starting to frustrate me. Let me just sort everything out real quick. There we go. I want to make sure that I'm looking in the right place at the. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Let me just get everything up. We're gonna wait for a few more people to join. Like, I know a few of you guys join. I may start doing this at 7:30 instead, because I know a few of you guys will struggle to come in at 7, but you will start joining in at like 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock. Why isn't it? Oh, hello. Bit of back feed. Bit of feedback. There we go. Okay, let me just post this in the Discord, let you guys know that we are live, and then we'll jump straight into today's topic. So today's why isn't it working? There we go. So today's topic, guys, is going to be talking about just trying to create a lifestyle you don't need a holiday from. You know, trying to create a lifestyle that, not necessarily, I'm not saying, you know, we got to all become millionaires, but try and create a lifestyle that, you know, you don't need to take that break from. There we go. Bloody hell. Got there eventually. There we go. It's a bit of a faff. Every morning, it's a bit of a faff trying to make sure all the technology is working here. There we go. Let's go ahead and check this on the announcement section. Cool. Okay, cool. There we go. So now that that is done, I can jump straight into the topic of conversation with you guys. So I don't mind waiting a little bit, because obviously some of you, like I said, some of you struggle to get in at 7. Some of you don't quite come in at 7 o'clock. Some of you come in at sort of 7:30-ish. So, and usually I try to keep these half-an-hour segments. I don't want to be live for too long. But what I may start doing is just, like I said, going in at around 7:30. And then we can do like a 30-40 minute segment then. Bit of an update for this week. Yes, we've got a new branding. Let me see if I can actually find... Let me see if I can get a picture up of the branding. That'd be cool. I mean, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. Let me just see if I can... See if I can find something for you guys. I can. There you go. There is our branding, guys, our brand new logo. We've completely rebranded. We've got the Apex Brotherhood, as you can see. And then down, we've got the fitness, trading, and lifestyle. So that is what we're going to, like, majority be focusing on, is fitness, trading, and lifestyle. So these boardroom broadcasts aren't necessarily going to be too trading related. It's going to be very lifestyle related, very just overall motivation, just a way to get everyone up out of bed, watch the stream, listen to some positivity, listen to some good vibes, come chat with us, and share your good vibes as well. And then we'll go into the week. So into the week, then we'll have our trading. Our trading side, we live stream every morning and every single evening in the Discord. Some of the boys are doing a challenge, £100 or $100 to $1,000. I've just joined that as well. So you can catch us trading that live in the Discord every single evening. And then the fitness section, the fitness side, is my brother. He's a full-time, he's an online personal trainer. He's a PT. He focuses on all things fitness, creating a healthy lifestyle, creating that natural bodily physique, trying to make sure that it's longevity in the body. So he doesn't just work out to keep things muscle building. He tries to keep things fit, tries to keep things moving, flexibility and longevity to make sure you're not stiffening up when you become an old man, should we say. So that's his biggest focus, and a lot of the time he works with busy people like traders like myself, for example. So we are in the middle of creating his section of the Discord as well. We've put some real time and effort into it. So we haven't quite released that properly yet to you guys, but that will be over the next few months. So yeah, good to see some of the people are joining in now. Make sure that you come say good morning to us. Make sure that you say hello. Just seeing some of the people coming through on Twitter as well, so you can see that on the back end. Good to see. Big shout out to the Twitter audience as well. So I know that we don't have much of an audience on Twitter. I know we don't really post much on Twitter. So it's pretty cool to see. You guys watching through on Twitter. Although something seems to have gone on. No, it's not. It's back. Now we're all good. There we go. Awesome stuff. Right, everybody. Like I said, today's just a literal reason. Today's literally an excuse to just get out of bed, share some positivity, get some positive affirmations going, make sure we're all reminding ourselves what we're grateful for, and talk about creating a lifestyle and creating a life that we don't need to take a break from. And as a trader, that's predominantly, that's what I do for a living, is I'm a full-time trader. I have other businesses, I have other things that I do as well, but predominantly all I do is trading, live streaming. I work with the Fivers as well, and the logo, you can see the Fivers logo. I do work with the Fivers as well, so go check them out as well. Big shout out to the Fivers, absolutely awesome group of guys, brilliant company as well. Now, I always find that if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, and I kind of thought that was rubbish. I thought, you know what, it's kind of bullshit. I don't believe that, because all jobs have their hard days, have their issues, all days have their moments of stress, and sometimes it always feels like work. However, I always find that if you enjoy the stress, and if you know and you feel like the outcome is positive, and you're the majority of the time you're actually enjoying what you're doing, you're putting your head towards something, you're being mentally stimulated and challenged, or physically stimulated and challenged, then I feel like you don't always feel like you need a day off from it. Like me, for example, I work 7 days a week on my trading. I'm either back testing, forward testing, live trading, either streaming or just discussing trades and discussing the trading industry with you guys in the Discord. So I always find that, when you have that enjoyment, that fulfillment, and you're hanging out with people that you enjoy hanging out with, like I said, the guys in the Discord, absolute wacky group of guys. We've got people from age 20, 21 all the way up to like age 50 to 55. No, in fact, no, I think the oldest guy we have in is 68, I think. Fuzzy, let me know how old you are, bro. Absolute wacky guy living in England from South Africa. What a great guy. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, I don't feel like I work, you know, it's my full-time job. I don't feel like I work a day of my life because every single day is different. But it's also kind of the same, you know, I find comfort in that sort of consistency, in that mundane. And I feel like people chase the dream of trying to become something they're not, you know, trying to chase something different. You know, a lot of people find that, you know, having that mundane life, having that consistency, people are like, I must change this. This is too boring for me. I want to be different. And I feel like that's been, you know, manufactured from social media. I feel like social media's got a lot to play in this because we find that when we watch social media, we're watching the best of people's lives. You know, we're watching the sort of side of people's lives that maybe they don't necessarily truly live. And I heard someone say the other day, "Oh, fake it till you make it." And you could argue, yeah, manifestation is fake it till you make it. You know, like, even if you're not, let's say you're not a multi-millionaire, but if you have the mindset that, and we've discussed this on on the previous Boardroom Broadcasts, if you fake it till you make it, and then you start sort of, you start acting like the person who puts in the right practices to become the millionaire. So let's say the multi-millionaire gets out of bed at 5 a.m, then he goes to the gym. He comes back from the gym, then he goes through emails and he reads, I don't know, the newspaper or like the news articles, and then he goes about his day. He goes to work. Even if you're a 9 to 5, you go 9 to 5, then you come back and then you do some more reading. Maybe you read your favorite book, and then you eat healthy. You cook yourself some food and you go to bed early. You get your 8 hours sleep. You know, if that's what, in your eyes, that's what it's going to take to become a multi-millionaire, then yeah, fake it till you make it. You know, that is faking it until you make it, because that is, you're not a multi-millionaire, but you're putting in those good practices. Now, I believe in that. However, when it comes to social media, I don't feel like that fake it till you make it is quite a positive thing. I feel like faking it till you make it is more the fact that I'm going to show my best side of myself. Now, a lot of people, and I've known a few people who are getting into fitness, maybe they're not quite gym guys, but they're getting into fitness, and I've watched people take, you know, I've gone to gym with these guys, and you know, we've got a good pump going, and they're taking a selfie and taking a picture of myself in the gym just because that's what you do, you know, why not? And I was proud of my progress. Not big by any stretch of the imagination, you know, I'm in shape, but I'm a pretty average build. I'm pretty average shape, you know. I'm not my brother. I'm not Ewan. He is in incredible shape. He looks like a Greek statue. However, you know, I am proud of my progress. I've seen boys in the gym. They'll take a picture and they'll be flexing their arms, and they'll actually go on their camera roll and edit it to make themselves look bigger, and they'll make their arms bigger, they'll make their forearms bigger, they'll make the chest bigger, and faking it, I feel like that's the social media's fake it till you make it. You're trying to impress people. You're trying to be something, potentially something that you're not. And sometimes, I think when you're trying to be something that you'll never be as well, like if you start going around, let's say for example, you're a plumber, you want to become a multi-millionaire, and you're chasing that dream, and then let's say you go on holiday to Dubai, just because it's a very social media holiday, isn't it? You go on holiday to Dubai, then you see a Lamborghini. You go and take a picture of the Lamborghini, but you don't post about your plumbing work on social media. Instead, you only post when you go on holiday. So you know you've been on holiday a few times over the past few years, and you've taken plenty of really nice photos, and you don't post anything. You don't post you drinking, but you're going out every weekend. But then you post a picture of your Lamborghini, and then you come up with some garbage like haha, hashtag made it, or finally hard work pays off. I've seen this too many times before, where that'll happen and it won't be there. Like, they won't even rent it. They won't even go through the effort of actually paying to rent it for the day. And what they'll end up doing is they'll come back and go back to work, and then they'll fall, or they'll take plenty of pictures. I'm not going to expose this person, but I'll tell you a story. They'll come back to the normal life, go back to work, and they'll have so many pictures on their camera roll for the from the past holiday, they'll post for the next month to make it look like they're living in Dubai for a month. And it's so negative. Look at yeah, mate, literally. So it's so negative because it's creating this illusion, but it's also creating that delusion. You know, he's having self-delusion. He's having this strange delusion that, you know, he thinks that he's a multi-millionaire. He thinks that it's okay to be not. He's not scamming people because he's not trying to get money out of these people, but he's trying to create an image that potentially he never will be. Even if he becomes a multi-millionaire plumber, you know, he'll never be living out in Dubai because he'll be at home in his area that his plumbing company is, you know. So, and not only that, if you go off and you're actually trying to achieve this greatness and you're trying to achieve this, and he's drinking every day and he's not putting in the practices that it takes to become a millionaire, then he never will be a millionaire. If he's going out drinking, he's wasting money, he's trying to become something he's not, and, you know, he's not even got the correct attitude to become something that he's not, then he never will become this person. However, you know, if you're more organic, and I posted this on my broadcast channel, so guys, if you don't know already, you know, Will Davis Official is my Instagram. I've got basically it's like a weekly broadcast bulletin board sort of thing called 1% Better with Will. And as you can see, I have posted yesterday saying a 90-year-old billionaire, and I watched this as well, it was an interview. A 90-year-old billionaire once said, "Being honest makes you rich, and not being honest destroys your chances." And then basically my little snip on that was go through life and be honest. Don't lie and bullshit people, especially if they could become an asset in the future. Guys, no one wants to be bullshitted. No one wants to be lied to. It is so important that we actually try and be the best versions of ourselves 24/7, because without being the best versions of ourselves, guys, you're severely decreasing your chances of becoming that future self. But not only that, more importantly, you know, trying to chase a dream. I've seen so many people chase that Lamborghini, and I say Lamborghini, the poor Lamborghini, they get such a bad rap. You know, this particular person actually is chasing a Ferrari, and, you know, you try and chase the goals, you try and chase the monetary value, and sometimes that's not always the best thing to do. You know, when you're trying to chase the money, when you're trying to chase a materialistic thing like a Rolex or a Lambo, a Ferrari, a house, whatever you're trying to chase, you find that you're chasing it away. Instead of actually trying to allow the money to come to you, or instead of chasing the lifestyle. And what I mean by the lifestyle, I don't mean popping champagne, partying with a bunch of OnlyFans girls. What I mean is creating a life you genuinely do not need a day off from. Creating a life that you want to enjoy. Creating a life that, you know, you don't have to wake up at 9. You can wake up at 10. You can wake up at 6. You wake up when you choose. This is the most optimal time to wake up. Not because you want to, you know, guys, I've been live since 7 a.m. I've been live 20 minutes now. 7 a.m. I went live. You know, that's not a 9 to 5. So, and I think this is the misconception when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I think a lot of people say, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore because I want to wake up at 10, 11 in the morning, work until 1 p.m. and then finish for the day. That is very, very slim. Like, sometimes I'll get that on a Saturday maybe, where I'll wake up at like 8 or 9 instead of 6:30, 7, and then I'll work until about 1, 2 o'clock. And then instead of working on my PC and grafting and doing bits and bobs that I need to be doing, I'll actually be out and about working from my phone, covering emails and stuff like that. So, you know, you're never actually having a day off. You're always working. And, you know, my partner hated this at first. Like, she you know, she understands that I got a business to run. And she was like, "You're always on your bloody phone." I was like, "I know. She was like, "You finished work. You told me you finished work." I was like, "I know, I have. I have finished my office work. However, things still needed to get done on my phone. Still had to message people. Still had to email people. Still had to plan things. So your workload does decrease, but it never stops. And that's the fun of being an entrepreneur. Now, that's what I mean by you need to find something that you never need to take a day off from, because you'll find that you'll work 24/7, 7 days a week, every single day, every minute, even when you're sleeping, you're thinking, you're dreaming about your business and how you can scale it and improve it or become profitable with it. So try and find an industry that you're never going to want to retire from. Because if you find an industry and you're like, I hate this industry, but it's going to make millions, then you're going to want to retire from it. You're going to struggle with discipline. You know, you're going to struggle with motivation, and we all struggle with this anyway. And if you become a multimillionaire, which is great, yeah, 100%, everyone wants to become a multimillionaire. However, when you're not enjoying what you're doing, you don't feel that sort of that gratitude towards it. You don't feel that, what's the word I'm looking for? A sense of achievement almost. I've known people to be happier in a 9-to-5 job than people have been as a multimillionaire. You know, I've known people to be doing, 6-figure months, and they don't like it, they don't enjoy it. But then I've known other people to be just barely surviving on a paycheck to paycheck basis, and they're loving their life. You know, they absolutely love their job, they love what they do, and I much prefer to see the guy working 9 to 5. I was at a pub where a couple of days ago, my brother, we went out for a beer. And we thought, you know what, sun's shining, let's go out for a quick beer. So I had a bottle of Corona and sitting out looking over the sea. And then these guys were like whinging about their job and like saying, "Oh, I hate my job, I hate my life, this is crap, this is this is that." And I was like, it's such negativity. And this other guy chirps up and goes, "I love my life." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I love work." He said, I had a day off yesterday and it was shit, it was awful. He's like, "What do you mean you had a day off yesterday and shit? Why are you complaining about a day off?" And he goes, "I hate having a day off. I love coming into work." And I was like, wow, you know what? That is inspirational, because this guy is on a basic sort of job. He was just a bartender. He's just pulling pints. And there's nothing special. He wasn't a multimillionaire. He wasn't driving a Lamborghini. He didn't have a Rolex on his wrist. He's just a basic guy on a basic living, basic wage, pulling pints, speaking to people on the daily. He loved his life. He hated his day off. I much prefer to see that than someone who's driving around a Bentley and hating their life because they're so stressed and they've got all sorts of work going on. You know, so try and find what you want to do in life and then do it like you love it, and truly fall in love with the process and truly fall in love with what you're doing. But having a bit of a catch up, I can see there's a few of you in watching right now, which is super cool. However, Sigma FX actually coming out this morning, which is really cool. So Sigma, what's good, my man? Good morning, sir. Let's start this week in the best way. Good to have a seat in the boardroom. Absolutely, brother. You are more than welcome. So Sigma FX, Scott, he is our resident trader. He is live pretty much most days at the moment. You know, he's doing really well with the live streaming. He is new to the live streaming side. Absolute awesome guy, awesome trader, and a fantastic host as well. So you'll be seeing him from Wednesday onwards, live in the YouTube on the Brotherhood. You'll also see him live in the Discord as well with me every single evening, hopefully, provided he can join every evening. I don't expect the traders to join. But it's a great chat and it's good fun to see everyone in as well. So awesome to see you in Sigma FX. Looking good. Shifted some timber since you got back from Hong Kong. Yeah, dude, honestly, all my timber's gone from here back up to here. So yeah, I've lost a lot of weight since Hong Kong, but I've also put a bit of timber on, which is nice because, dude, like I said, the luxury of being a trader, you get to travel all over the world. My partner is from Hong Kong, so I got to live in Hong Kong for a few months. that was amazing. You know, seeing family, checking out some new locations. But yeah, I put on a bit. Even though I joined a gym out there, I still, you know, joining the gym was probably just my way of trying to burn all the calories I was eating. I wasn't actually putting on any timber. I wasn't losing weight, and I wasn't putting on muscle. I was probably just coasting. So yeah, it's all coming up. My abs are coming back. My top 2 abs are coming back. My middle abs are starting to come back as well, which is nice. You know, I can start to see that weight dropping off. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Sigma. It's getting there slowly, my man. I just need a good €500,000 villa in Spain to chase away another green week. One step at a time, process over profit. Dude, 100%. 100%. You know, I see too many people chasing the wrong thing. My whole thing is literally just family. You know, my whole motivation is family. All I do and what I do it just to provide for family, to become a better version of myself, to become a better man. I find that the more money I earn, the more it gives me the ability to be a better man and a better provider for my family. I'm able to take my family to, you know, and this sounds small, but cafes, I take them out for coffee more often, potentially take them out for meals, eventually take them out for holidays, you know. So it's the more money I earn, the more I'm able to provide more for my family and to give back, you know. So my especially not necessarily my created family, not, you know, me and my partner, but sort of like my parents and my brother, I'm able to give back and, you know, almost say thank you to them as well. So super important that you chase the right goals. And I feel like you'll find more happiness as well. So I'm able to wake up every morning whenever I want, do whatever I want for however long I want. I was gaming the other day with a couple of the guys. It was a Friday. I think it was like a Friday morning. It was like a Friday 11 a.m. And I closed the blinds, turned all the lights off, chucked a headset on. I just started playing some games with some of the guys that I trade with. And it was so much fun because I thought, I never do this. I'm not a gamer. I'm useless. They were all laughing about how I was dying all the time. However, it was the ability to actually do that. It was actually play that. You know, and we streamed it on the Discord, and some of the guys just jumped in. Some of the guys, like Sigma FX just now, I said, dude, I never knew you had Steam. He said, I didn't until 30 seconds ago. He saw that we were live in the Discord and thought, screw this, I want to join. Because that's the luxury, guys, of building a community. You know, and I'm not out here trying to chase a Lamborghini. However, have I looked at them? Yes. Have I gone to garages and thought, let's have a look at this Ferrari, Aston Martin, Lamborghini? Yeah, of course I have, 100%. You know, however, it's not my main focus. Buying a Bentley, buying a Lamborghini, buying a Ferrari isn't going to make me happy. Certainly not going to make me sad, but it's understanding that that is a byproduct, not the goal. That's a byproduct. Because if I don't reach that, you know, I'm going to find that I'm going to be miserable. However, if I chase the idea of providing for my family, retiring my parents, retiring my partner, you know, me and my brother, we just become, you know, the breadwinners and the providers of the family, then, you know, if we try and strive for that, even if we don't make that, you know, even if we don't make it to that sort of wealth, even if you fall short, falling short of that will still provide you with a fantastic life. You may not be able to afford a Ferrari. You know, you may not be able to afford a holiday for a month in the Maldives. However, what you will be able to do is understand that you are financially free. You've completely left the rat race. You wake up when you want, do what you want for however long you want, and do it where you want. Now, that sense of freedom is overwhelmingly successful. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's the sort of ability to have that gratitude, and that gratitude it will give you will be so much better than anything else. Like, I know that when I was out in Hong Kong, I was obviously the breadwinner with me and my partner. I'd take her out for meals. I'd be going to rooftop bars, going out for a couple of drinks. You know, we'd dress up nice. that feeling of sense of achievement of being able to provide that was unbelievable. Now, however, like Sigma FX just said, all he needs is a €500,000 villa in Spain. Dude, you imagine, like, as a trader, if you manage to earn, let's say, for example, let's say €500,000 in Spain would cost you, what, €2,000 a month, for example, depending on how long you have it over, their interest rate, and etc. etc. So let's say you have all you need to make is $2,000 a month. That's a pretty average wage. That's a pretty basic average wage. Then you got to live. Let's say it costs you $1,000 per person to live. That's expensive, but let's say it anyway. So let's say it's you and your partner. That's $2,000 plus you got to earn $4,000 to live super comfortable. And I'm talking like that is living the nicer life in your €500,000 villa in Spain. However, $4,000. Let's say you got $100,000 prop account with the fivers. Shout out to the fivers. Let's say you got let's say you got $100,000. That's 4% a month. Okay, that starts to look like, okay, that's a little bit tricky. Let's start to say you scale that, or let's say you buy 2 or 3. Let's say you buy 2 accounts. $100,000 prop accounts. You buy 2 of them. You make 2% a month. Put it on a trade copier. Boom. There you go. You've got your 4K. Once you start realizing the scalability, once you start realizing what's possible, 2% a month isn't that difficult at all. I made 2% last week. I made over $2,000 last week. And I think I made around 3-ish%, so about $3,000 across the accounts, maybe a little bit more. However, that ability to actually understand what you need instead of chasing $10,000 a month because you need to pay for your new Lamborghini. Instead of chasing that, instead be like, okay, let's chase the process. I'm going to make 2% a month. Boom, 2% a month. You buy another 100K, 2% a month. You buy another 100K, 2% a month. Another 100K, 2% a month. Next month you're making around 8K. Yeah, so you got 4 accounts, 2% a month. That's $8,000. You're making $8,000 a month just by making 2% on one single account that you've got a trade copier copy into the rest of the accounts. So $8,000 a month. You only need 4,000. You've got 4,000. Just spare income to invest in the S&P, invest into your health, invest into maybe another property, and invest into ways of making more money. And that's the luxury of what prop firms and what trading has. Trading has that fantastic ability to create financial wealth and financial freedom, providing you chase the right thing. If you're chasing process over outcome and you're chasing the right thing, you'll find happiness a lot quicker. If you're chasing that Lamborghini guru lifestyle, you're going to really struggle and you're going to find it so difficult. And even if you even if you fall slightly short, you buy yourself a nice Range Rover, or I bought myself a BMW M4 Comp. I can't afford a Lamborghini right now, but if I bought myself an M4 competition, I'd be miserable because I haven't got a Lamborghini yet. However, I know for a fact that I can afford the M4, I can afford everything else in life, and I've still got residual income, I've still got spare income left over. I am super happy because I wake up every morning and I could wake up in Spain, I could wake up in the Caribbean, I could wake up in Europe, in Europe somewhere, I could wake up in the UK. Doesn't matter where I wake up, all over the world. I've toured the world and I can do what I do from my laptop, from my computer. And guys, look, if you're sitting here thinking, I wish I could earn money online, drop me a DM on my Instagram. My Instagram is Will_Davis_official. So go drop me an Instagram message or get into the description below. Discord is down below, and get into that. It's like £30 a month, I think it is. It's £30 a month, and for what we have in there, it's super cheap. So it's a great group of guys. You get free tickets to all my events. I'm speaking in London in October. You will all have free tickets to that London event. Not only that, I'll be in Miami in January. And then you'll have free tickets for those of you who are in America or around that Miami area, that Florida area. you guys will have free tickets to the Miami event. And then same goes next year in Dubai. I know a few of you are based in the UAE. For those Dubai guys out there, then you guys will have free tickets to the event in Dubai. Not only that, we'll be doing special Brotherhood events as well. We're going to be spending potentially a month in Thailand. We're looking at renting a villa. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we'll be giving you guys, we'll be doing giveaways as well. We'll be doing cash giveaways, account giveaways. I'm going to be speaking to the Fivers at some point and looking at potentially partnering up with them and giving accounts away. So that's not going to be on the Boardroom Broadcast. That's going to be on the trading live streams. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be doing stuff like that as well. We're going to be doing giveaways, giving accounts. I'm not sure. There we go. MGN Talent here. Greetings. Like I said, a lot of people struggle to get in around 7 a.m. So I may start moving this to 7:30 and go from 7:30 to 8, 8:15 sort of thing. So let me know if that would work better for you guys. Although I'm seeing, we've had consistently around 10 people viewing for the first half an hour, which, that's pretty sick. Now that's awesome that 10 people are joining and watching right now. But yeah, like I was saying, guys, it's being grateful for the ability to work internationally all over the world, but it's also having that discipline. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Create that lifestyle, create that life that you don't need a day off from, and usually that comes with hanging out with the right people. I know too many people that sort of. I don't want to slam who they hang out with, but maybe they don't hang out with people who are best for them. And hanging out with people who aren't necessarily the best for you, it's tough, because you're made to feel like an outsider if you want something different. You're made to feel like a leper. You're made to feel like you don't, or you shouldn't be striving for almost such unrealistic goals. A lot of people will look at me, even like my parents, the only person that doesn't think I'm delusional is my partner and my brother. Everyone else is just, they look at me and they're like, well, I can't even comprehend your goals right now. I don't even understand what on earth you are talking about. So I'm also seeing as well, the chat isn't coming up. Only MGN's chat is coming up on the YouTube, which is really weird. That's strange. Let me know if you guys are seeing Sigma FX chat as well. Yeah, it's not coming up. So yeah, Sigma FX is commenting as well, as you can see. I mean, you can see here in the chat box, you can see Sigma FX. But MGN, greetings. How you doing? MGN Thalant here. Greetings to you, my man. I don't know why it's not coming up on the chat box. It looks like you're the only one in there. But yeah, there is also comments and you can see, which is pretty cool. Anyway, like I was saying, create that sort of lifestyle you don't need to take a rest day from, and hang out with the right people as well. That's why I say get yourself in a Discord community. Get yourself in a community full of like-minded people. We got fitness, we got lifestyle. So we talk about, in fact, let me just, as an example, we got events, we got merchandise. In fact, we're actually rebranding. I'll actually see if I can find a picture of the new hoodies. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'll see if I can real quick. I'll see if I can share my screen. I don't know what it's going to look like if I share my screen. Oh, go away. There we go. There we go. But like I was saying, we got merch, we got daily quotes, we got clothing, outfits and style, we got scents. So talk about like aftershaves, deodorants, your scent. Timepieces, we like our watches. I've also got you can't see. I bought myself my first ever luxury watch. I've got a few more watches here, but my first ever luxury watch up here on a watch winder. Keep it ticking. So we like our watches. A few of the guys got a couple, a few of the guys in there got Rolexes. Cigars and whiskey lounge. You guys know that I like my cigars and whiskey, so we got a cigar and whiskey room. We've also got the whiskey lounge for people that just want to chill and hang out and talk about absolute garbage. You know, we got that side of the Brotherhood, so that's the sort of should we call it the lifestyle side. Let me share my screen now real quick. I don't know if it's going to allow me to. No, let's go up there. Okay, it will actually. Let me. If I can add the scene. Can. Right, I'm just going to bring this up for you guys real quick. So this is the new Apex Brotherhood merchandise. So this is the new hoodies. They're so much nicer than the old ones. This is what we're looking. We've just put in an order now. If you do want something like this, message me on Instagram. I've not released them on the website yet. However, we will be getting these on the 22nd. I think I've told them that I want to buy. None of we're not a clothing brand, so we don't get stock in. These are made solely for you, like tailored for you. Like you say, oh, can I have a hoodie? We then go ahead and put into the guys, and they make it there and then for us, which is really cool. Which is absolutely awesome. Anyway, let me. What's going on? There we go. I am technologically inept, guys. I'm rubbish with technology. But there we go. We're back. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, we got merchandise as well for those of you who want to be, you know, who want to wear the Brotherhood with pride. You know, it's something that it's super close to our heart. You know, we also will be doing giveaways, and we will be giving away merchandise as well, like the t-shirts, like the hoodies. So if you do want something like that, give me a message. Yes, Azrael, I am also here, mate. My man, what is good? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in. I don't know how long you've been in for, but we were basically just chatting around, you know, creating a lifestyle that you don't feel like you need to take a day off from. You know, obviously, look, you need to take a day off. You know, my brother loves the gym, but he also likes to take a day off from the gym because recovery is just as, if not more important than actually, you know, working out. Same goes when it comes to working hard. You know, you have got to take a day off, otherwise you're going to go absolutely senile. But yeah, like I said, get yourself in a group of like-minded people. Get yourself full of people who also want to become better versions of themselves. And guys, I'm not on about necessarily financially richer. You know, we've got the fitness side. If you want to lose weight, if you want to become healthier, if you want to have a longer lifespan, if you want to have longevity in your body movements as well, you know, me and my brother are karatekas. You know, we do karate. These are some of our belts. You know, I'm now green belt. I got graded the other day, so I was yellow. I went from yellow to green, which is pretty cool. You know, we do karate. It's got a lot of, you know, flexibility. You know, it's got a lot of sort of mind-body connection in it as well. You know, my brother is also a karateka, so he also talks about, you know, being flexible. He's also a gym guy as well, so he's built like a brick shit house. So if you are looking at becoming healthier, if you're looking at becoming musclier, if you're looking at losing weight, or if you're looking at becoming more flexible, go give Ewan Davis Fitness a shout on Instagram, or like I said, get yourself in the Discord where you'll be able to speak to Ewan direct. That's what I mean, guys. It's all about, you know, building a community full of people who want to become better. You know, we talk about psychology. We got the daily quote. Sigma FX is ace at putting in quotes of the day. We've also got a few other guys out there who do put in some awesome quotes, like Unbiased Trader, for example. You know, Unbiased Trader loves putting in his daily quote, an inspirational quote now and then. So, guys, I'm going to leave it on that, you know, 10 to 8. Guys, just my message out to you guys, you know, make sure that you're staying positive. Make sure that you're reminding yourself, you know, who you are and what you want to become. You know, positive affirmations only. Remind yourself you're capable. Remind yourself what you want to do, who you want to become, and who you're going to be. And start putting into fruition, start putting into place that becoming that person. So, guys, I just want to say thank you very much, all of you, for joining. I felt a little bit off today. It was, I struggled a little bit. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling my best. However, I'm here. I'm positive. I'm making sure that I'm putting in the best possible sort of habits to become the best version of myself. I'm starting my week off right, 7 a.m. and we are live. So 7 a.m. I'm starting it with you guys. You guys are starting it with me. I show up here every single day, even when I don't feel the greatest. Not necessarily just for you guys, not necessarily just for me, but just for the sake of keeping in that discipline, keeping in that habit, and hopefully you guys, share among everyone. Next week I'll be a lot better off. Probably come feeling a lot better and a lot more prepared. So yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for starting your morning with me. Make sure that you go through the week with positive feelings, making sure that you are putting in the best practices, becoming the best versions of yourselves. And guys, my challenge from me to you this week is go out and try and be the best gentleman possible. So go out and hold a door for someone. Go out and be kind to someone. Go out and say, you want someone to say at the end of the day, at the end of the week, I met someone who's absolutely unbelievable for this reason today. Go out and shock the world and remind them that being a gentleman still exists and being the best version of yourself. And, making sure that people smile and remember that they wish their partner was half the man that you are. So guys, make sure that you go out and be the best version of yourself, not just to impress people, just because it will make you feel good as well. So guys, this is the Boardroom Broadcast. Will Davis official signing off. Make sure you get yourself in the Discord link down below. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Will Davis official. And more importantly, make sure you smash the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you share it with everyone who wants to become a better version of themselves. But for now, peace. Thank you very much.